What's going on, people? Welcome back to the live match reaction. Palace 2, Bournemouth 0. I'm telling you, I am much more excited to talk about this game than I was against Tottenham. There's a lot to talk about. Some brilliant performances, easy victory at the end. I don't think Bournemouth had a shot on target. As always, if you do enjoy the show, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And also, the lines will be open right now where you can call in to the show and have your say as well. T, we're gonna pretend that you was waiting for us behind the scenes and that we just didn't start as soon as he joined. But look,
we'll act like that.
This is literally my first reaction. This is the first time I'm talking to you. We didn't have opportunity to talk behind the scenes. I know you was a bit busy. What do you make of the game, T?
Dominated, man, from front to back, man. It's interesting, man, because I feel like Bournemouth have been playing better than what they came out and did. I mean, I guess I expected them to play better than they did, but I mean, man, we really dominated them, man. I mean, I think they had only 3 shots the whole game and none on target, man. Like that was a convincing performance, man. I mean, Sam Johnson doesn't even need to wash his kit. Like
Sam Johnson said, forget about washing his kit. He didn't even need to be there.
Yeah, like literally, they probably they might have not had a chance even without us having a goalkeeper. But
literally, no shots on target. All the shots were off target. If Sam Johnson wasn't there, then there's still like 0 shots on target. Like that's the type of game it was. And on the Palace side of things, we had a lot of shots and we had a few on target as well with 2 goals. So in attack today, finally, against Tottenham, I was a bit worried. I was like, what's going on? It was a bit quiet. And then in this game, it seems like we bounced back. You saw it.
Yeah.
I think with our talent that we have, of course, we're going to talk about Eze. I think with the talent that we have, the only thing we're missing really is a striker because we've got some exceptional players at this team that hasn't performed pretty much the whole season. But now that they are performing, once Roy's giving them a bit of confidence, and we saw it today.
Yeah, I mean, it's great when we can show our quality. Because we as fans, we know we have it. You know what I'm saying? Watching this team week in and week out, but I think it's always fantastic when they really bring it all together. When you got, just defensive force at the back, a rock of a defensive midfielder, guys that can attack, spread the ball around, share it. Like it's great to see. But like you said, man, like watching this team, like we talked about in the past, man, I feel like we're I'd probably say between 2 and 4 pieces away from really being able to make some more noise, some real noise.
Yeah. Okay. No, I just saw a comment. Look, if the shows are if you guys want to join the show, make sure to click on the pinned comment to join us live. We'll start rotating in just a second. But I agree, and also not even that, T. Like we're talking about 2 to 3 players or 4 players, however you want to say it, to go on to the next level. But I mean, we saw it today that some of these players I haven't been performing to the levels that they have been ever, under Vieira, and Roy Hodgson has brought that back. So even if these players were performing under Roy, then God knows where we would end up, because we're not even that far off 10th place. I think mathematically we can't finish there, but we've still got, a lot of talent in this team that we haven't seen if we look at the season as a whole, and we're just seeing it now. Eze, what on earth is going on with him? Literally, he's been scoring goals, getting assists. It's absolutely fantastic. And his second goal today, that was filthy. Eze's second goal today was absolutely filthy. Even his first goal, the movement was fantastic as well. I know your internet is jumping up a bit. I could tell by your face, and I could tell by your lack of movement. Can you hear me?
Yes, it is.
Can
yes.
Can you
yeah,
I can hear me?
I can hear you. It's going.
When the screen freezes. When the screen freezes, your screen just froze, and it actually scared the shit out of me. You was literally like this, looking at me. Anyways, I thought I said something. I was like, what's going on? But yeah, at least 10 assists this season. See, Eze scoring goals as well.
10 goals for Eze.
Both
10
of them, fantastic.
For both of them. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Gosh, like the level of talent, man, we're talking about, and it's crazy because, to start a show like this and to say what we said so far, one of the things we haven't mentioned is the fact that Wilf went off hurt. You know what I'm saying?
That's the
and I
negative.
think
I don't want to move on to a negative just yet, but yeah, that is the
I mean,
one
you know,
negative. That is the one
but what I'm
negative.
saying is, I think it says a lot for our squad, our club, that even in that with that type of bad situation happening for us, so much good that's going on with this team. There's so much more that we have that we haven't had in the past. You know what I'm saying? As far as the solidity of our players and what they can do. You know what I mean? Shout out to Elise. Elise is the first ever Palace player to have 10 assists in a Premier League season.
Fantastic player. Fantastic. And I've been saying it. We still haven't seen the best of Elise. He's still going to grow. That is the scariest part. Not that he's getting 10 assists right now, but for me, with Elise, is what's going to happen when he improves. Like, he's still
because
got
if you
room
think
for
about it,
improvement.
he had some really quality looks at shots that he just couldn't get under control.
His
And
finish wasn't that great.
It's like when his finishing becomes more polished, when he becomes more confident with his right foot, that kid could be world class. And that's just the honest truth about it.
Exactly. Look, the lines are open. If you guys want to join and have your say, click on the pinned comment. It should be pinned to join us live. Let's bring on Alex, first guest of the show. Alex, happy when Eze is happy. So you must be happy. You must
Your defense is terrifying.
You must be happy, guy.
I've never been to a game, so that's the first time I've chanted it. Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Literally. Well, so what did you make of the game, Alex? Apart from Wilf, I can't think of any negatives. We dominated it from the first minute to the last minute. We also saw a few substitutions. Gyro coming onto the pitch, Mako coming onto the pitch.
You look good.
You can't really have a better afternoon than this.
Oh, absolutely. Somebody's going to bring up the Joe VAR check, so I might as well be the first one. It could have been a red card, so if you have a chance to see it, like, take a look, because it's like kind of like, you know, he's got a fist out and he kind of just like beep to Lerma. It's like, what the hell are you doing? Other than that, what other notes do I have? You know, like, let's start where
negativity. There's nothing. You have to be positive.
Nothing.
Look, Gyro was on a pitch. Eze scoring goals. Elisa getting assists. That's what I'm saying. The Wilf injury is frustrating. That's the frustrating, because it would have been like a 10 out of 10 if Wilf Zaha didn't get injured. But that happened. But apart from that, look, Jordan Ayew, Decore, Anderson, Gahey. Where do you want to start, Alex? The floor is literally yours. Who do you want to talk about? There's lots to talk about.
Okay. I don't know if they're going to get brought up, but both Ward and Mitchell were very, very good today. I kind of isolated them because the last few games, I was like, are they doing better? It was hard to tell. They were consistently in the offensive end. They were always like a thorn in the side. I really wanted Mitchell to get an assist or a goal, but didn't happen. But he was always there. God, that was just like a boa constrictor the whole time, how much we freaking held the ball and stuff like that. In terms of like other notes, I thought that Hughes did very well in what he was asked to do, and so let's give the honorable mentions to the people that maybe won't get them, because his touch on the first goal right to Ayew and back to Wilf was amazing. Just like how quickly it was all going, and Wilf, that turn, come on, like what?
Was he sent 3 players to the shop. Literally, they all lost Wilf. Like, it's not one play. He literally sent 3 plays the opposite direction.
That was so nasty.
Look, I'm just gonna say this once, and I'm gonna leave it there. For those that saying Wilf is finished and, you know, money and this and that, I don't look. I'm saying always pay him up. But
I'm not done with Wilf.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm done with him. Yeah,
exactly.
Pay that man. Pay that man.
All I think we need is another forward next season. And if we have this, you know, Wilf as
it's an expensive position. Yeah. So if people think that we're going to be saving money by not getting Zaha, I don't know what they're expecting, because then you're looking at people that aren't even that good at left wing and in the championship or something like that. I don't know. I want to have him so bad, so I want him to stay. And I don't want that to be his last memory of Selhurst Park, all that.
we got a
Yeah,
question
that
from
is a good question by Bollocks.
yes,
Does Hughes keep
yeah,
the
yeah, that's what I was
spot?
going to ask you. Yeah, so what
Mhm.
do you think about this? Does Hughes keep his spot once Jeff is back? We've only got 2 games to
I
go.
don't think it
I guess you can
matters.
do a bit of rotation. You can play about with it. Hughes, you said that he had a good performance today. So would you want to see
Yes.
him be that midfielder for the next 2 games?
I don't care either way, actually, because I like Jeff Schlepp. I always have. I just thought that he was like out of place. He looked like a fish out of water this year. And Hughes has never looked bad for us. I don't know of a game outside of some of the preseason games this year where he looked subpar. And so either one will be great, I think, because I mean, we'll be facing a Fulham squad that has Mitrovic back and looked pretty good today, but it was Southampton. Yeah, okay.
I
So
mean,
we
yeah,
shall
exactly.
see.
If you don't look good against Southampton, then there's probably something very wrong with your club because it's harder to look bad against Southampton than good.
And
That's
they're
fair.
officially relegated, by the way.
Yeah, they're officially relegated.
Yeah.
They're gone. Anyone from Southampton that you might want?
There's a few on my take.
Lavia was number one on my list just because of his age and just but apparently he didn't have a good game today. So maybe we're like expecting too much of him. He's only 18 or 19. So maybe of the experienced players, I would go with like KWP would be a good shout just because we do need left back kind of competition, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
There's so many. I don't want James Ward-Prowse. It doesn't fit, but he'll find somewhere.
So talking about Fulham, is it the same old? Basically, let's say Wilf is out. I guess that'll be the change because the Wilf injury didn't look too good. So what do you want to see against Fulham?
I just want to see. I want to see Eze for the next 2 games. It's that simple. Like I'm happy when Eze is happy. So that makes it so that like the other players are almost just like, kind of feeding into like let's play fast pace. Let's stop, being on the back foot like we were in all of the middle of the year. Like the blueprint was always there for Vieira, and I just don't understand why he went away from Eze, So
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's a big thing. Like people are saying, why on earth did Vieira drop Eze? So look, it happened. But now he's back, and you have to give credit to Roy Hodgson about that. And there's no other way.
So
there's no simple way.
that
of
wasn't
saying it
helpful.
than give Roy
Sorry,
Hodgson
but yeah, that wasn't helpful to just say, I want to see Eze. I want to see Hamada get minutes in one of the next 2 games, and if not, I'd love to see what he provides in the preseason. I don't think he's done yet. I think you might as well just cut your losses with Sambi, just because it's a loan. We're never going to get him, and it doesn't seem to be a
I
fit.
literally forgot about him until we mentioned him.
Yeah.
That shows where my head is at.
He was so important in the middle of the year to Vieira. Yeah, but not to us.
Yeah. Well, look, Alex, we'll see you next week. Hopefully, we'll get another positive result. And if you're happy, then Eze happy, then we're all happy. So let's.
Yes.
So hopefully, another good performance from Eze as well. But I really appreciate your time, Alex. And
thank you.
Catch up with you again soon. All right,
take it easy.
Care.
Yep.
Take care, Alex. That was Alex. If you guys want to join in and have your say, click on the pinned comment. And also, if you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. People, it helps us out massively. Let's bring on Tim next. He's been waiting. Tim, how you doing?
Come on! Yeah. Come on! That was awesome. That was awesome.
Exactly. What was it? What was it for you, Tim? Because for me, it was just a domination from the start to the end. The attack was fantastic. The defense was brilliant. The midfield, once again, Decore holding it down in midfield, that was brilliant as well. But for you, Tim, what stood out for you the most in this victory?
Well, Ebbs stood out the most, but I think the thing that really made me happy, just something that I watched, because we did start slow, except for 2 players. There were 2 players who I thought did not start slow, who were clearly hungry, and I think increasing the levels. And I thought that was Will Hughes, and I thought Joel Ward. I thought Wardy was definitely up for it, and Hughes was really up for it. He looked like, I don't know if how both of you saw this, but to me it looked like he took it personally, that he hasn't been playing more minutes this year. And I think he looked at this and said, Schlepp's hurt. You need me. I am not letting this go. And he was stuck in the whole game. He looked good, man. Like, Will Hughes looked good. He looked good playing next to Decore. And there was a moment, I don't know what minute it was of the match, but when Bournemouth just sort of raised their hands and said, you know what, we aren't going to try to play it through the midfield anymore, because everything was coming through and either Hughes was cutting it out or Decore was cutting it out, or Mitchell and Wardy were coming up and cutting it out and then going right on attack. Like, every time Bournemouth was trying to play it through the middle, it looked like to me that did not work for them at all. Now, they weren't on it. I don't think this was a bad game for them. They played poorly, but man, that was fun to watch. So I think the answer is that Hughes has to get a shout, even if Schlepp is back. I want him to have his shot, because it almost feels to me like Ray came up to him and said, all right, son, what do you want to do with this? Here's your opportunity. What are you going to do with it? And I think he seized it.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. It's pretty similar to the situation that we saw in goal with Johnston. So it's like,
absolutely.
I think Will Hughes saw the way that situation was handled through an injury of a player who had been a pretty consistent starting 11 guy, getting replaced and not finding his way back into the team because the guy that replaced him has been playing really well. So, I mean, Hughes is probably, like you said, he's like, man, I got to take this opportunity. I got to play well because I'm going to have the chance to stay in this position. Right. So,
right. I do have one other thing I wanted to point out here, just something that I've been wanting to say since the end of that match. If there are any pundits left out there that think in any way that these results that we're seeing right now, that we would have got these same performances off the previous manager, I think you need to drink a tall glass of shut the hell up. I mean, I really do. I mean, because
tall glass, double shot
of shut the hell up, because that is nonsense. I mean, what we're seeing from Ebbs and the freedom he's playing with, when Jordan went out. I mean, I hate to see Wilf go off, but sure enough, Jordan goes out left and he starts picking up the ball and he starts driving to the middle, and we look even more progressive. I mean, that feels like a very natural attacking. I mean, it really seems to suit him quite well. So I think if any pundit that is still banging that drum, you haven't watched Palace. Just admit it. You haven't watched Palace. You haven't watched us. And second, that's insane. You're not giving enough credit to the work that Roy and Ray have done. And they have been, I mean, 10 out of 10. You have to say brilliant. They've been amazing.
So let me ask you this question then. And also the chat, you can get involved as well. Has your opinion changed on whether you want to keep Roy on for next season based on these performances that we've had since he's joined the club? Me personally, it hasn't, because I said it when he first joined. Even if he wins the 10 out of 10 games, I still feel like we need a new fresh face in the summer, and I want to make sure that Roy leaves on a high. I'm worried that if we go into next season with Roy, that there could be one or two bad results, then negativity comes in. I just don't want that. I want Roy to end on a high because I feel like he deserves it. But for you, Tim, has your opinion changed on whether you want to keep him for next season?
I mean, part of me does want to keep him, but I shared that concern that what happens if, well, it will happen next season. We will have a bad run because that happens for every club, and then things turn, and it's just not the send off that all of us want for Roy. I mean, I really want him in this last match. I mean, Forest, I think, did. I mean, they're not mathematically safe yet, but that point versus Chelsea. By the way, Chelsea, on the same points. I mean, that is. I mean, we're coming for him, right? But anyway,
Well, that's the
that
next
is
objective, ain't it? Well, 10th is gone. We can't finish 10th place.
absolutely.
We have to hold on to 11th.
Absolutely. But let me answer your question. In all seriousness, like, I don't think that Forest has as much pressure on them now in that final game. I mean, I guess next week's results we'll see, but that point for them today is absolutely massive. So it does
33
feel
points,
more
30-something points, man.
unlikely. Yeah, it feels less likely that match at Selhurst will be an essential win for them. So I think that's one that I hope we can enjoy. Clap Roy and Ray off the pitch, give them their flowers, give them their due, and let them, do what they're going to do. I mean, they have been brilliant. So there's a part of me, Dee, that's like, yeah, let's keep this going. But I mean, he's club legend now, right? I mean, can't we say that Roy Hodgson is the most consequential Palace manager since Steve Coppell? I mean, do you think that's fair?
I mean, seeing as how where he took us from when he first came in the first time after 7 straight losses to, the job that he's done this time. I mean, he's played a significant role for sure in our success.
He's played a significant role, but without Ian Holloway, we're probably not here talking about this.
Yeah,
because we probably might be in the championship. There's a lot of managers I have to think about. Without Tony Pulis, I have to say, without Pulis,
that's another one. Sure,
well. But you have to say Roy has been. Let us know what you guys think in the chat as well. You have to say without Roy, would we still be in the Premier League? I'm not too sure, but he's probably been. Or I don't think probably he has been our most successful Premier League manager due to how long he's been at the club for. And it's been 4 seasons. He was at the club for 4 seasons, and he's had this period as well. And we've been in the Premier League, so nearly, not halfway, but nearly halfway. I think it's been the longest managers we've had in the Premier League era. So yeah, he's definitely up there. He's a legend, and I want to keep him as that bracket. And I don't want to, because last time we left him, it was very sour. And that's why I want to make sure he leaves on a high and gets the credit he deserves. But that's my opinion, anyways. Fulham next week. What are we saying? How are you thinking about that game after this? Same old. We want to see the same, don't we? In attack, especially.
I feel like you got to go for it. There was. I did feel like we needed Hughes and we needed Wardy to kind of lift us a little bit early in the game. I don't know if it was nerves or just slowness, but you noticed early on, Elise is about a half yard off. Early on, he didn't play a bad game, played a great game, but like early on. Like slow start, about a half yard off, couple of like missed passes, interceptions, and then we had to get going. So I want to see us start faster. I definitely want to see us go for it. There's no reason that we can't come out and attack this team. And I wanted more Will Hughes. I really did love the way Hughes played today. He was. First of all, he's a fun guy to watch on the pitch. You watch how he gets on other players. You watch how he gets stuck in. And he feels to me like the natural successor to Maka. And for me, that just makes me love him, just that element. But today, he took that and then added some elements to his game. That little volley that he hits it sweetly. I mean, he hits it too close to the goalkeeper, but that's a hell of a hit. He's driving the ball up. He's making the interceptions with Decore. That was fun, man. That was really fun.
Yeah. It was fun. I hope we have, because honestly, after the Tottenham game, I was thinking this game surely cannot be worse than that. It was so boring. And I said this twice now on the show, but genuinely, the Tottenham game was like, what am I going to talk about?
This match was kind of lukewarm in that first half.
It was.
Yeah,
it totally was.
Because there was one point when there was like 8 shots total and none of them were on target.
And none were on target.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was like that. I agree. I was a bit worried. About that because we was attacking. There was a bit more in attack, but I was worried if we were going to talk about the final third and not being clinical enough. But then afterwards.
But then Wardy goes, who I forget who said it in the chat, but then Wardy goes Ronaldinho.
Ronaldinho.
full on Maggette spin. Like
He's working for that contract. He's working for that.
He
really
was.
wants that new
He
contract.
was.
He's showing that he could do an attack as well as in defense.
Brilliant.
Like, he's out there, saying, "Pay me my money. I want
That's
to be
it.
here. I can still do it." That's what he's trying to do.
That's it.
And
That's
he's
it.
been performing well over recent games. I thought against Wolves when he came off the bench he was decent, and ever since then he's been, it's been faultless. But look, Tim, really appreciate your time for coming on to the show. Hopefully, we'll talk about another positive performance against Fulham on the weekend.
absolutely.
You gotta believe. Up the Palace.
Exactly. Up the Palace. Take
Peace,
care, Tim. That was Tim having to say. If you guys are enjoying the show, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, people. Let's get the likes up as much as we can. Let's bring on AJ next. AJ, 2-0 win. It was like a walk in the park at the end of it.
Eze's on fire. Your defense is terrified. Eze's on fire. Your defense is terrified.
I'll be real. I was terrified for the defense. Literally, that was.
Oh,
yeah. Where has Eze been?
Bro, you know what?
From before Roy, it must be confidence. It must be confidence. And
do you know what?
Player can't change this much.
Vieira might have to pay for his crimes. He might have to pay for some. So like, Vieira might have to answer like some terrorism claims here. Because how this brother was sitting on the bench like looking all miserable in that. Now he's got his smile back. Now he's playing week in, week out. Now he's banging in goals left, right, and centre. Oh, that second goal. Oh,
that was a finish. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
the
goalkeeper didn't even move. There was no point. Like the goalkeeper was just like long for man. Like he sent those defenders for tea and biscuits, rude boy. Trust me, he sent them man to the shops.
He was in the right positions as well for the first goal, second goal. And the funny thing is, I was thinking after he scored the second goal, I was watching him in particular, and I wanted to see what he wanted to do in terms of hat-trick, because surely as a player, you want to go for the hat-trick. But even then, he wasn't greedy. I didn't notice anything about him pushing for that third goal and going over top. He still wanted others to get involved. Do you get it? That's the mentality that these players have. It's a mentality that the game, cool, I'm winning 2-0, and yes, I'm on a hat-trick, but I'm still playing for the team. You get it? I'm still playing for the team.
Yeah.
Elise, gave that assist. Elise, gonna talk about Eze, but Elise, 10 assists this season as well. But they're playing for the team. They're not working for individuals. That's what I'm saying.
There is. I mean, to be fair, Eze could have potentially had a hat trick with a free kick at the end. Maybe. It didn't look that far wide, to be fair. But in relation to what you were saying, Dee, it's. I think one thing that Roy has done really well, unless your name is Albert Nokonga, is that he's bringing like a good team cohesion. Everybody seems a lot more happier and everyone seems a lot more relaxed. And you can see the players have a smile and a grin on their faces on the pitch as well. And it just seems that as a result of that, they want to work harder for each other and they want to, we dominated that game today. Like, we could have won that game by a different scoreline if, certain attacking threats went our way. But it just seems like a happier place and a bit more of a good vibe in the, I don't know, that's, dressing room, training pitch. Maybe Roy's ripping into him differently. We don't, that bit will never really stand up. But there's something different in the air, man. It's, we look good again. We look proper again.
Yeah, we do. And it's a confidence, really. It's confidence and excitement around that. But we could look. Eze, Elise, Ayu, we could talk about those players. Wilf, maybe this might be his last game. That's what people are saying. I don't know what you think about the whole situation. But I want to go back, once again to the defense. Sophie Madison, Mark Gay. The reason why they had 0 shots on target was down to them. Again, both of them brilliant. They must be one of the most underrated pairings in the Premier League.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, we'll go for it with player ratings. Make sure you go check that out. But in all fairness, man, they were solid today. They didn't. You're right. Their part, Gay and Anderson's partnership is so underrated. It is disgusting. There was a couple of times where Anderson really got caught out a little bit on the pace, but he was comfortable. Like the whole team was comfortable at that point. I think Ward.
Red card situation.
Nah. I mean, to be fair, when I saw it at the time, because the problem is when you're at the game and you see it in live time, you're just thinking this player's just pushing each other around the box. Because from what I saw the corner, And then I saw the referee blow the ball came out, and then I saw the referee sort of blow the whistle, and everyone kind of went quiet. And then was it Lerma was on the ground? It just happened so quick in quick time. I couldn't quite understand what was going on. So where I sit, I kind of sort of flip my head around, and you can kind of half see a VAR. Like, I don't know if it's a VAR or a Premier League coverage screen or something in the corner. And then I saw that Anderson kind of sort of looked like he kind of yanked him to the ground. But that was happening all game, man. I mean, do I really want to go into another rant about Premier League referees? No. But
no need to do it. I think the referee's fine.
I can't do it, man. I can't do it. It's a fruitless task, like. But I think obviously VAR checked it and they were happy with it. No incident. I mean, there wasn't even a penalty or whatever. So if it's being replayed and constantly being checked, then maybe they kind of just had it more of a kind of not a handbags moment, but just a little bit of a physical altercation between the two. And we know what it's like, man. Players throw themselves to the ground at the slightest touches. So, no red card for me. He was lucky because on another given day and another referee, they might have looked at it differently. Mm-hmm. Until I see the replay properly, I can't really make a full judgment on it. Because like I said, watching it in live time, I basically missed it.
I'll be honest, I watched it back. Some people are saying that he was very lucky to be on pitch. I have to see it again because I was at the ground, so it was on the other end, so I literally couldn't see what happened with Jokic.
Yeah,
so I saw the VAR screen.
But then I would debate if he was lucky, how comes he didn't even get a yellow, or how comes there was no penalty? You see what I'm saying? So it's just hard.
I don't know. I can't talk on a matter. I don't know. Like I just don't
because
know.
I heard some people saying, "Oh, he should have got a red card." It's like, how could he should have gotten a red if he didn't even get a yellow? You know what I'm saying? Like that's.
I don't think they can give a yellow if he didn't give a yellow initially. Does that make sense? So if they look at VAR, they don't think it's a red card. They don't think it's a red card. You can't give a yellow instead. Because
that's what I'm saying. Like
you can. Yes, you can.
I'm saying, like, how could it be a red card if he didn't even get a yellow?
No, I don't think you can. You can't look at a red card.
You can. I've seen scenarios where players have been sent off, and then they'll turn around and sort of look at the VAR screen, come back, and then they'll say no, and then give him a yellow card.
But that's sometimes he didn't get sent off. So he didn't get sent off. That's my whole point.
He didn't get carded at all, right? So you can't. Did he get carded at all?
No, he didn't even get booked. There's no penalty. He just play on.
That's what I'm saying.
No, they played on.
That's what doesn't make sense to me. Like he didn't get carded at all, but some people are like, oh, he should have got a red. It's like. He didn't get carded at all.
He didn't get.
Look, anyways, he's on the pitch. We're happy. We're happy. It is what it is. He stayed on. He
didn't get the penalty, but there was a couple of times where Gay and Anderson today specifically did nearly get caught out a couple of times by Solanke because Solanke was on there. There was only once or twice.
Solanke.
It was once or twice. It was in the first half where Anderson sort of let the ball run a bit. And I don't think he communicated with Gay properly. And then there was something weird in the first half where the players went into each other as well. But apart from that, we're very lucky to have both those defenders and centre backs. Over the years, barring a fit Mamadou Sakho, I've never really been dramatically impressed with our centre backs. I mean, Scott Dan would probably be in the conversation. Delaney's got his cult status.
So with all due respect,
proper solid centre backs.
We've had some great centre backs, but Joachim Andersen and Mark Gay is the best one. Like,
the thing is, remember, it's because of their age as well, so it can only grow. Obviously, subject to all the rumours and stuff. Because funny enough, being at the game today, that was one conversation that I could hear loads of people talking about Gay and potentially what might happen with him in the summer, but. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, it was a shame seeing Will put up again. That might bring another conversation into the narrative as well in terms of what's actually going on with him and whether it's worth giving him a new deal or not. Because the injuries, that's his fourth injury already this season. So, I hope he gets better and it's not too serious.
He normally doesn't get injured like that.
He doesn't normally stay out for this long. So, I mean, maybe he's getting older, maybe not, maybe he's been very unlucky. It's hard to tell. I mean, that's another conversation for another day. But
we'll see.
There's
a lot to talk about this summer.
There was loads of positive vibes today, man. It was a good atmosphere, man. It was a good game.
It's just worrying. I think it's probably gonna be the last time we see him this season, unfortunately.
Oh
hate
yeah,
to
maybe
say it,
yeah,
but,
probably yeah. This season probably
know,
yeah. It's looking
yeah.
likely, but yeah, we stayed up and maybe it might be the last time we ever see him, and it might just be a
And that's
game
that. And that's
against
what I'm saying. Like when you
against
think of, when
Bournemouth.
when you really put that into perspective and think about that, man, that's
That's sad.
rough.
Exactly. That's sad. That's
True.
emotional.
But what you got, another way you got to look at is look what we can do without him.
And that's what I was saying earlier, AJ. I literally said that earlier.
capable.
Yep.
Like,
The
look what,
qualities of
sorry
Eze and Elise,
to
man.
jump on your point, but look what we can do without him. You know, we've won games without him in this squad. We've shown that we have alternative ways of playing, so we can change up the way we play the game, and we've got a new breed of stars in our squad now. The likes of Elise and Eze. You know, there was a couple other players that stood out for me today, but I'm not revealing too much. You know, you got to keep it secret for the player ratings and that. But
Exactly. No spoilers for the player ratings.
no spoilers, no
See,
spoilers, no spoilers,
yeah,
no spoilers.
exactly.
Somebody's
But,
gonna get that hot
yeah,
5.5. I know it.
5.5, yeah.
4.5.
Eze did score a hat trick.
Eze
Eze did score a
4.5.
hat trick. Yeah, that's average. You know, I expect.
He didn't give me a shirt at the end. He didn't give me a shirt at the end of the game, so he's getting a 4.5.
4.5. Exactly, 4.5.
How dare
But
you?
AJ, there's people. We're gonna talk about all this Wilf stuff. Anyway. There's people waiting on behind the scenes. Oh, I just want to go through them as well because they've been waiting for a while.
Of course,
before you go, Fulham. Just we're gonna do a preview anyways about it. But
I see Fulham as Mitrovic coming back. I'm actually not worried about that. You know what? We're gonna beat Fulham.
Yeah, well, if you play like this,
but it won't be a
no,
it will be like a 2-1 or something like that.
Yeah, look, Fulham ain't gonna be no pushover. They've had a solid season.
They kind of
we're at Craven Cottage too, right?
Yeah.
Craven's on their way.
Well,
I think it'll be like something like
4-1. Yeah, they beat us 4-1.
But yeah, guys, let me leave you to get on with your calls and stuff, and then I can wrap up my drive, and then I'll see you guys in a bit.
All right, then. All right, cool. I'll see you later, AJ. Take care, bro. If you guys want to join us live and have your say, click on the pinned comment. And if you're enjoying the show, let's leave a like, people. I think we're nearly on 50 likes. We can definitely reach 50 likes. There's about nearly 100 people.
Nearly 100 people, man.
We can definitely hit that. Let's go on down next. Man, win.
Hi guys. You all right?
Yeah, we're fine. Comfortable win. Dominated the game. No shots conceded on target. What do you make of it all?
Easy stuff, isn't it? Really, it's easy when you know how. You know, what I mean, at the minute we're just on fire, like unstoppable. You know, we're not giving teams an easy ride. You know, it's the same way. All right, Tottenham last week was a bit awful, but at the end of the day, you know what I mean, we're playing the way that we should be playing. You know, it's a lot more better and it's a lot more interesting. I'm starting to enjoy it a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's enjoyable to watch. That's the most important thing about it. We're getting the points, but the football hasn't really changed. The big question mark when Roy first came in was, he's a defensive manager, what is he going to do with the attack? But the defense has remained rock solid, but the opposite is happening in attack. We've been absolutely fantastic with our build-up play. And today you saw it as well with the first goal. Wilf, absolutely brilliant. We haven't spoken a bit, Dan. So what do you think about this Wilf situation? Do you think it's his last game? Do you think he'll sign a new contract? Where do you stand on it?
I don't really know. You know what I mean? Is it viable to give? Is it viable to give him what he wants, like £200,000 a week on a 4-year deal? I think he wants, or something like that. The guy's a legend. Don't get me wrong. I love the guy. I love the guy to pieces and that. But you know, there's been this saga. The saga's just been going on, and it's been a repetitive story for like 2 or 3 seasons. You know, maybe even more. You know, Zaha's going to go. Zaha's going to go. Zaha's going to go. Well, maybe it's time for us to cut our losses and let him go. But obviously, it's a big name to replace. But then again, you know, we can look at a younger person like a Jack Harrison or a Gianotto. Gianotto, is it Gianotto?
Yeah.
Nonto, maybe,
Nonto,
Nonto, and like maybe look at them two or someone younger. You know, I don't know, but I'm happy either way. I'm happy if he stays, and I'm happy if he goes. You know, we really need to keep hold. If we're looking at the bigger picture, the people that we really need to keep hold of is Gahey, Elise, and Eze. You know, they're the key three. They're the key three, and they're going to be an integral part to the new manager coming in. The role that whatever we need to fill gaps in and around them.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, Gay, Eze, and Elise, that's going to be like the main talking words. But I thought Tyrick Mitchell today, you have to give a shout out to him. What do you make of his game? I thought he was very solid. And he's improved.
Ty's Ty, really, isn't it? No, you know what I mean? No one says a bad word about him. He's solid. He's solid, and you know, he chucks in that performance for you, and he's a class left back. You know, and he'll go on to bigger and brighter things, and there's no doubt in that.
Yeah. The one positive and one thing that made me smile was Gyro coming onto the pitch and Maka coming onto the pitch. And I'll be honest, I was thinking this when I was walking home. I was like, Gyro, whenever he comes on, he doesn't look like a bad player. Like, I just don't understand it. He doesn't, and he rarely gets any opportunities. What do you think about his performance today? He was attacking, he was solid in possession. But he just never
the
gets
shot was a bit suspect. The shot was a bit suspect.
If we ignore that bit, then yeah, let's just say he definitely can't play up front. Let's just say that. But apart from that, you know, I thought he had a solid performance. Maka, it was good to see that as well. Good to see him back on the pitch as well. Do you think it's just a case of Roy bringing these players on just as goodbyes? Is it now the end for some of these players that did come today? And, you know, as we're reaching towards the end of the season, this is it.
I don't really know, you know, because I don't know whether Roy's going to actually take the job or whether it's going to be handed to someone else. But it seems to me like he's just looking at players for next season, maybe. You know, Gyro's been a wonderful servant to the club. You know what I mean? He's just sat there. You know, he hasn't minded being on the bench. You know, obviously we'd want a bigger part to play in the club, bigger role. But you know, he's been happy to sit there and stay there. But now maybe he wants to move his career forward. The likes of Luka Milivojevic as well. You know, we got to look at the bigger picture here. You know, there's players that are going to be leaving this season, and you know, we have to replace them. We have to find some sort of replacement for them because you know, unfortunately, we might be left with the same situation again where we have no midfield.
Yeah, looking ahead to the Fulham game now, we can't finish above them. I don't think mathematically that is possible anymore. But it's a case of, I guess, finishing above Chelsea, and we're level on points with Chelsea. Only goal difference, I think, is separating both sides. But do you want to see a few changes in that? Roy actually spoke about it. He said that he's not looking to make any changes. He's looking to go strong till the end of the season. But do you think, you know, if Wilf is out, Ed might be starting? He came off the bench today. I'll be honest, not convinced. I haven't been convinced for a while. Who would you like to see if Wilf is out in that game?
I want to see more of this Armada kid. I don't know what's actually happened there. You know, I'd like to see more of him and maybe Sambi Lokonga as well. I like Sambi Lokonga, and you know, I would like to see a bit more of him. Will Hughes, definitely, 100%. He needs to start more games. He's brilliant. But I don't know. Is Jez back at the club?
No,
or is he not?
He won't be. No, he won't be available for selection this season. I think even if he's back, I don't think he will be able to play for us because he's technically under contract there.
To June 30th.
So he won't be able to play for us. But no, I can't think of any other youngsters. I guess we've got the under 21 finals coming up against PSV. So you don't want to injure them or get them tired because they've got a final coming up. So. You know, I think it'll be a normal. I think Edward might start.
It'll probably be what we saw out there.
So it'll be Edward starting. But look, hopefully we get another positive result. That's it. You know, we have to try to win all our remaining games and build for next season. But before you go, Dan,
6 points. 6 points.
Exactly. But yeah, that should be the aim. Do you want Roy to stay on next season?
Oh, that's a tough question, man. my heart said he deserves a role. He deserves a role in the upper parts of the club. You know, looking down, maybe back in a younger manager. You know what I mean? But I don't know. As to him as a manager, you know, I think he said on the overlap as well. He said he can't really see it happening. But I don't know. Anything can happen, I suppose. I'm not against the idea of Roy staying, but I'm not against it. But at the end of the day, we need to replace him with the right person. You know, they're all on about this plan that we've got, this vision moving forward. When maybe now's the time to correct it and get the right manager in.
Yeah. Look, we'll see what happens. But really appreciate your time, Dan. And hopefully we'll
Thank
have
you very
on
much, guys.
next
Cheers
week.
for having me on.
I didn't take care.
Appreciate it, Dan. Thank you, man.
Yes, if you guys want to join us live and have your say, click on the pinned comment to join us via video to have your say on the game. Also about Roy. Do you want Roy to stay at the club? Let us know in the comment section down below. Let's bring on. What was the order? And it was Jamal that was been waiting. Jamal,
Hey
the
guys,
win. Yeah, we're good, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing well as also.
Yeah. Where are you now? I'm not seeing no palm trees.
Yeah, I'm still in tropics. But it's hot
Yeah,
outside.
normally I like
Pretty
to
cool.
see like palm trees. I like to see the hot weather, the scenery. You changed the scenery today. I was expecting a bit,
Yeah.
with how AJ's playing, a bit of a tropical vibes. But where is it? Where is it today? You moved?
Yeah, I'm still in the same location, but just facing a different direction.
Jamal, you let me down, bro. You let me down. No, I'm joking.
Man, we bringing you on for the vibes, man. We bringing you on
We
for
need
the
to see the
vibes,
sun
man.
here. Well, I don't know about over in America with T, but over here it's still raining and all of that. I was expecting a bit of palm trees, but talk about palm trees and vibes and enjoyment. Eze, Elise, Gahey, Anderson, all of them. Every single player out there today, fantastic. What did you make of the performance? We dominated them.
We were good defensively. We were good in transition. We were good attacking. It was just a well-oiled machine. Crystal Palace was fantastic today. Although we started slow because we really didn't had much to play for, but we still produced the goods. Congrats to Roy and his team. Did a very good job.
Yeah, congrats to Roy indeed. And we've been talking about Roy, asking questions about whether people do want Roy to stay on next season. Opinions can change. So some people may have not been fan of Roy and now they might want him to stay. Look, where do you stand with the situation about Roy?
I believe that there's very few managers in the world that has the experience that Roy has. There are a lot of British managers that never left Britain and coach. Roy has been to Italy. He's been all over the world. You know, even when he's doing training seminars, etc. A lot of young managers look up to Roy. I believe that he is a wealth of knowledge that Crystal Palace should not part of. All of that being said, I believe he should be in a more relaxed role, maybe a director of football, a sporting director, regardless of whatever form Crystal Palace would like to go. I believe you should not let go of that sort of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
We look at Chelsea. Chelsea went in and they got rid of numerous of very high skilled workers, and look at the position they're in. So, all that being said, I really believe that I come to the conclusion, if we cannot find a good manager to fit the project, we should keep Roy for next season. If we do find one, we should put Roy in as I said, in a managerial position like sporting director or director of football, depending on the vision of the club going forward. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, look, you made some very decent points,
That's
and
fair.
I think other people there's others out there that agree with you as well. Of course, some don't just want Roy, some do want Roy. There's going to be difference of opinions there. But look, going back to the game, first half we started a bit slow. I don't know about you, but we dominated the ball, but we didn't have that many shots on target. But as the game went on, and then you see that class by Wilf, beating 3 players, ball into the box, into the danger area. But The player has to be there. And Eze, once again, was at the right position at the right time. What an end to the season is having, Jamal.
He's a fantastic footballer. I saw what Roy saw in him when he was in Championship to bring him over to Crystal Palace. And he has delivered in the games needed to deliver in. And not only that, he's a very good team player as well. So he's always very aware of his surroundings. So he and Elisa links up. He and Decore links up. He and Wilf links up. The only issue I could say about Eze is that we imagine if we had a stronger forward to play off, so he could play 1-2 with the forward and run into space. He'll be even more fantastic. But it's difficult with our current forward situation for him to explore that other option of attack. That other attack vector is not there currently. But other than that, he's a fantastic footballer.
Yeah. And that's the thing, though. You're talking about another attacker, and that's what I believe as well. I feel like if we keep this core that we have right now, and it might not be sustainable to keep them for the next 3 to 4 years, but if we keep it and go for it this summer and bring in, 1 or 2 players in the positions that we need, such as up front, and maybe another midfielder, another right back. And you never know. You never know what this squad could achieve because we're seeing it. We saw it today. Like there's some real talent in the squad that we haven't seen throughout the season that we're seeing under Roy now.
I agree. And what is even more pertinent of what you said is for us to keep our crown jewels. Imagine if Alicia get somebody come in and see Alicia. Like I think they were talking about Paris Saint-Germain. Wants him to replace Messi. And with the form that Alicia is in, and the form that Alicia is in, if someone comes in for Alicia, then Zaha leaves, we will be in a precarious situation. Should we take the money? Don't forget, me and AJ was talking the last time, and AJ, so when we sold Wan-Bissaka, we put $40 million into buying the youth stadium, and look at the results of that. Now we won the under-15 tournament, I think last week. So we seeing the fruits. So it may be said it's best to keep the players, but if you look at succession planning, you can clearly see some results that Steve Parish have done that has borne fruit. So it's kind of difficult to sell or not sell when we saw what we achieved when we sold.
Yeah, I agree. And it'll be we'll see anyways. But there's rumors about maybe Elisa getting another deal. I don't know how true that is because he literally got an improved deal, which had his release clause removed. Yeah, so I don't know how many deals he's gonna get in the space of like 1 or 2 years, but I can't complain. Just say that if he gets another deal because he's been performing 10 assists this season, first Crystal Palace player to do it in the Premier League, and he's only 21 years old.
Fantastic. I don't believe a lot of people understand how much a big accomplishment that is at a club like Crystal Palace, where you got strikers that can't score 5 goals a season. Imagine if he was a team, like let me say for example, he's playing on the right wing instead of Mahrez for Haaland. You can imagine what Haaland would do with those crosses. Haaland would bully defenders for those crosses. At least he would probably got 20 assists. Play for Man City on the right side.
Yeah, literally. I think I'll look it up now, but I don't think he's that far off Kevin De Bruyne. Literally, and Kevin De Bruyne has had a few assists to Haaland. So that pretty much shows the talent there.
Correct, I agree. He's a fantastic footballer. And a lot of people say, he probably would not have come to Palace if it wasn't for Patrick Vieira. So you got to give Patrick Vieira points for that too as well. He, along with Gay and along with Anderson, you see what kind of team the vision that he had for the team. If he had a little bit more, if Crystal Palace was in a position to spend more money, we could only imagine the team that Patrick Vieira was wanted to create. But he did very well with those 3 signings.
Just
very well.
Looking at the assist numbers, Elise is tied for 3rd with Leandro Trossard. He's 1 behind Bukayo Saka, and he's 6 behind Kevin De Bruyne.
Whoa,
that is. I don't think people realize. Yeah, Yeah,
He's keeping some good company.
Look, that's with our forwards. We're talking about forwards being absolutely shocking that none of them are starting.
Correct.
Jordan Ayew, that's starting up front.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if we had a striker that could finish, that's dangerous in and around the box, that can contribute. I'm telling you, I need to see that. I need to see us have a striker with these group of players before we sell any of them. And I'll be so annoyed if we saw the one of Eze Elise this summer without going and buying another striker and letting a quality striker play with them. Because if we're talking about assists and if we're talking about Eze getting this many goals and assists as well, Eze's got a few assists as well, without a proper forward all season long, then imagine what would happen if we do have that forward. Do you get it? That would be unbelievable.
We'll probably be in the same position as Brentford right now in terms of the league. Because as I said the last time I was on,
higher, I think.
20,
higher. Look,
20 is the difference.
Sorry, Jamal, to cut you off, but don't you think it'll be potentially higher than Brentford? I mean, we're only 7 points off Brentford, and we didn't win a game for like 4 months.
You remember when we go up there, we butt in some big dogs, some big teams, so it may be difficult. There's no more. Remember, we had a big 4, and now we had a big 6. This is like almost a big 8 now. When Newcastle
or big 20, or big
coming
20,
up the floor now.
Big 19 if you exclude Southampton. If you exclude Southampton,
crazy.
like it's crazy results. That's the Premier League for you, and that's the thing. Like, it's a question of how can we push on to the next level? How can we become a top 10 club? And I don't think it's a case of buying 15 players. We brought in the quality players when Patrick Vieira first joined us.
Correct.
And this summer it was about building on that, and we did to a certain extent. I think Decore's been a fantastic signing, but it wasn't enough. And right now, when you're looking at just starting positions, because I'm not talking about, if we're talking about depth, we need more than 3 to 4 players because there's some areas of the pitch that we just don't have the depth.
Correct.
If you're looking at starting positions, bringing another forward or another right back, maybe another central midfielder, I think that's what closed down the gaps between us and the clubs that's above us, because we've already got a talent, but it's just the 1 or 2 positions that we just don't have quality in that we struggled all season long. I think it's not rocket science. I just feel like that alongside a new younger manager. And for me, it'd be Arne Slot. I think that's what closes the gap between us and the team that's above us.
Yeah, and it also got to do with the vision of the club too as well. It depends on what the club wants to achieve. So let me say, for example, if Steve Parrish come out and say that we are aiming for Europe, okay, for example, then we have to spend the money to get into Europe. Right? If he doesn't come out and say that what our ambitions is for next year, we could just expect to achieve what we did for the last 4 to 5 years. As easy as that. Yeah. Because don't forget to move from 11th to 7th, we got to spend some money. Right?
100%.
And also work on rules as well. Also key work on like Alicia and Eze, etc. Because as you realize, there are not many. I know we spend a lot of time talking about Eduardo and Mateta, but there are like 7 or 8 other Premier League clubs that have the same struggles as us in terms of the striking positions. There are not that many cheap forwards that are available that we could just say, okay, we could just buy this person, we could buy that person. Strikers now is a very rare commodity, and teams like Brentford and that has these type of players, they don't sell them.
Yeah.
So like Mitrovic
right.
and Mitrovic. If you look at Fulham, right, Mitrovic was in the league 3 years ago, and they got relegated with Mitrovic, and he wasn't that good. But this season, when he plays with Fulham, he almost looks unplayable. He's bully players. He win headers. Look at what he did against us. He was supposed to be injured, and he came against us and he bullied us. So
yeah, I look at even look at Brentford. I mean, Brentford without Tony, they're not at the position they're in. They're probably 15th or 16th. So that's how much. I'm not saying we can go out and buy Ivan Tony. That's not going to be realistic. But if you have proper scouting and bringing in a forward that's quality, then, even if it's 10 to 15 goals a season, or maybe that's a bit high, but 10 goals at least a season, then that could be the difference maker. As we're seeing right now with Eze, he's scoring from midfield as well. So it's not like the striker score 30 goals a season for us to be successful.
Right. And you can't put the pressure on Isaiah to score every game. That's not fair. So you bring in a forward or striker to do a job, and that's to help with goals. You don't expect Isaiah every game to dribble 6 and 7 people every game and bang it in the net. And and if you look at it right, a lot of pressure was on Zaha for about 10 years, just trying to save us until it built up a narrative. And that's one. And I'm not sure if you realize, but that was one of the key points for Patrick Vieira era. He moved away Zaha, Crystal Palace dependence on Zaha, but then he switched it to Gallagher for a season. I'm not sure if you all realize that. And then when Gallagher left, then we fall back to Zaha again. So when you look at it, Crystal Palace just needs to decide what they want to do. But from what we have been seeing in terms of investment, we are focusing on the youth, and we are seeing results in the youth.
Yeah,
I think we should post
about
the 21 finals coming up too as well, right?
Yeah. Under 21 finals coming up. Hopefully, we'll be doing content on back of the nest. Try to cover as much as we can. Potentially go to the game and do content there as well. So yeah, under 21 finals, under 15s, winning the trophy only this week. But that's the thing with the under 15s. It's going to take a few years. You can't expect 15, 16-year-olds to come to the first team just because they won the trophy there.
Correct.
But it's a gradual process, and we won't see the best of the academy until they grow up. You know, you can't speed up the growing process. It's not like you can just make them 21 years old and reach their potential one day. That's just a natural process. But yeah, 100%. Look, the academy's improved. Under 15s are successful. Hats off to them. Even the women's team, they're doing well as well. Relatively well this season. So it's just men's team done well this season in terms of staying up. But it's been a frustrating season. Let's just say that it's been a frustrating season.
It was.
But look, Jamal,
I agree.
Really appreciate your time, bro. Really appreciate your time coming on. Go and enjoy the hot weather. It doesn't look as hot as I expected. Maybe it might be the camera. I don't know if the sun is shining as much.
It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
Okay. I can't.
Just take my word for it. Just take my word.
Yeah. Next time, bring the palm trees. If we win, anyways, I'm expecting the palm
Every win
trees
against Fulham, I promise I will bring it.
All right, cool.
We better win. Exactly. We better win against Fulham. We need to experience that again. All right, then. See you later, Jamal.
All right, Jamal. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
See you. All right. Yeah, that was Jamal having to say. Oh, T, what a show. We're gonna wrap it up, but if you guys, anyone that wants to join in, last few minutes, feel free to click on the pin skin. If you're enjoying the show, people, let's get the likes up as much as we can, and also subscribe to not miss out on future content. But T, look, great win, 11th, 12th, I think now.
12th,
I mean,
12th on goal difference.
We'll talk about it in the preview, I guess. But 11th should be the goal now, right?
Man, and looking at what Chelsea got left, I don't know if they're going to get a point, man. I don't know if they might get a point out of their last three.
Yeah, you never know with them, innit?
It's gonna be tough. I mean, they got Man City, Man United, and Newcastle. Like those are tough to end your season on.
There was a question at the start of the show, and we spoke about as well.
Yep.
On WhatsApp. Who do we think we get as our next manager? So not who maybe we want, but who do you reckon we get as our next manager? I said that it might sound weird, but I could see Roy staying on. If I don't know who it was that made a point, I 100% agree. In terms of if we don't get the manager that we wanted, I could see Roy, staying on at the club, and potentially, doing another season. But for me, I think Arne Slot. But saying that, I feel like we're going to hear a few more names in a few weeks' time, because I don't think we're going to fall on right now in terms of looking for a new manager. We're just hearing names, but I feel like the actual process will probably start as soon as the season ends. Yeah,
I mean, and I think we'd be remiss to think that it hasn't already been going. You know what I mean? Because putting Roy in place was the move to do to allow us the chance to then be on the look for the next guy. So I'd be shocked if they weren't already really looking into it. But as we discussed in the past, on the slot is the guy that I would want to.
I think he suits us the most, isn't it? In terms of system, in terms of players that we got as well.
Yes, system. He knows how to. His system is can fit with what we already do and the players that we already have, along with the fact that I think he has a good amount of experience with making it work with sides that are on the smaller side and they may not have all the resources that other ones do, and still being able to have success. He's a younger manager, which I like.
Yeah, I'm most
and being
excited about him.
Yeah, I mean he's but then like you said, it's inevitable that there are going to be a lot of other names that are thrown out there.
I'm waiting to see the Rodgers and Potter, because I'll be surprised if we don't talk to them. Rodgers and Graham Potter.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's those are two we can definitely see happening. I mean, I like Graham Potter, but I don't think I just don't want us to go back to the lack of goals issue, which has been something that all of his most recent teams have had issues with, the scoring goals. And I kind of like the fact that we doing something different right now from the issues that we had earlier in this season was scoring goals, and we're not seeing that now. We're playing free and we're scoring goals. So I don't know, man. But yeah, like you said, inevitably there are going to be some other guys that get talked. I think Hoodle is going to come back again. Adi Hutzer, he's going to come back in there again too. So
yeah,
I'm interested to see how it plays out. But I'm with them here. I want the slot machine, man. I want the slot machine.
The slot machine. Slot machine. Yeah, that's brilliant. That's the first time I heard that. Yeah, I want a slot machine as well. Literally. But look, we're enjoying the moment right now. But it's a question.
Exactly. You got to.
Exactly. Because I'll be real, it's gonna probably be hectic in a few weeks' time with Palace. I'm expecting it to be a bit busy, especially with transfers and manager. It's gonna be like the summer that Roy left. So in that regards, majority of the clubs, they're just going to be relaxed here, hear transfers here and there. But Palace, today, another start and no rest. No rest. There's going to be a lot of content coming along the way. Also, we're going to America. Well, I don't know if I am. You're already in America.
Come on, D. You got to make come on, man.
Yeah, I want to make it. It'll be good, man. It'll actually be good. But you're going to go, aren't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
What?
Yep.
1 game? 2 games?
I think I'll probably do the Chicago game. Yeah, Chicago. I'll probably do. So I'll do them. It's Sevilla. The Millonarios game.
Oh, no. Yeah. That's Detroit, ain't it?
No, Detroit is Sevilla.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was all the way around.
No, yeah. Millonarios is Chicago.
Okay, yeah. I'm pretty sure there'll be a few people
which makes sense because Chicago has a huge Latino culture and population. So
yeah, I want to go and just that'll be an exciting vlog. It just basically combined team, right?
And honestly, man, if you decided to go,
that'd be amazing, man. That'd be lit.
If you decided to go to Chicago, it'd probably be pretty easy to fly there because Chicago's a pretty big hub for Europe. So
yeah. Saying that, I've looked at tickets. I need to see because the week after that, I'm going Turkey.
You say you're going to Turkey?
Yeah, exactly. So
it's a lot of money spent there.
It's a lot of money spent. Exactly. I'm not. I haven't got a bank account. I haven't reached that level yet. Literally in terms of
not there yet.
Maybe like millions a week. I'm not making that much.
We got to start. We got to monetize the YouTube first.
Yeah, man. Nah, man. Jokes aside, if I can, it'll be nice. It'll be nice to get there. Maybe meet a few of you that's over in America as well. Do a few content there, in-person content. Yeah, that'd be good. But look, we'll talk about that when the time comes. If you have enjoyed the show, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. With the game, whoever you enjoyed, whoever you liked, Roy, you wanted to keep him on for next season. Thanks to everyone who tuned in live. And until next time, up the Palace.
Up the Palace.